I am Mihir Modi and today I would like to take a demonstrative lecture on plantar fasciitis. So, before starting the plantar fasciitis, we would like to start with a relevant anatomy of plantar fascia. So, what is the plantar fascia? Plantar fascia is made up of a collagen fiber. Plantar fascia is a thick fibrous band or thick connective tissue or thick aponeurosis which originate from the posterior rough surface of the calcaneum and end up on the metatarsal head. There are mainly three components of the plantar fascia: central component, medial component and lateral component. Out of all these three components, central component is thick and play a vital role during the gait cycle. And what is the function of the plantar fascia? Plantar fascia is usually flexible and plantar fascia elongate and provide the support to the arches of the foot during the weight bearing phase of the gait cycle. So, what is plantar fasciitis? Plantar fasciitis is defined as an inflammation of the plantar fascia which support the arches of the foot. Now, what are the risk factor or etiological factor of plantar fasciitis? So, first one is obesity. Obesity contributes for 70% in cases of plantar fasciitis. Second is overuse or prolonged standing. Third is heel or calcaneal spur, flat feet, tendo-Achilles tightness, inappropriate footwear, inward rolling of foot and leg length inequality. Due to all these risk factor or contributing factor, the plantar fascia will undergo the biomechanical imbalance, and due to this, the series of microtrauma event will take place into the plantar fascia and it results in inflammatory changes, and whenever the inflammatory changes take place, the plantar fascia and collagen fiber will undergo the breakdown and ultimately the calcium will start to deposit. What are the signs and symptoms of plantar fasciitis? The first and foremost symptom of plantar fasciitis is sharp pain. Sharp pain occurs in the heel and bottom of the foot during the weight bearing after a prolonged period of rest. The patient will usually complain of severe pain when he or she getting out of the bed in the morning. The patient will complain of severe pain when he try to attempt his first step after a prolonged period of rest. Some rare but reported symptoms of plantar fasciitis include swelling, tingling, numbness and radiating pain. These symptoms are rare but occur in chronic or severe cases of plantar fasciitis. The diagnosis of the plantar fasciitis can be made by either physical examination, radiological examination or blood test. Physical examination include a windlass test. A physical therapist may perform a windlass test to diagnose the plantar fasciitis. A positive windlass test indicates that patient is having a plantar fasciitis. Another physical examination include the palpation of the tenderness. The tenderness is usually present on anteromedial aspect of the heel in patient with plantar fasciitis. Another physical examination checking a range of motion. A patient with plantar fasciitis usually demonstrate a limited dorsiflexion of ankle and a limping of the gait may be present. Another examination is radiological examination which includes the X-ray, MRI and ultrasonography. X-ray can be done to rule out a causative factor of the plantar fasciitis such as a calcaneal spur or heel spur, and MRI and ultrasonography is usually done to rule out a thickening of plantar fascia which is usually seen in the patient with plantar fasciitis. Another examination is complete blood count or CBC and serological markers of inflammation. As we know, the inflammatory changes is usually associated with a plantar fasciitis. So, blood test can be performed to rule out the inflammatory marker or serological marker in patient with plantar fasciitis. Now, let's come on the PT management of plantar fasciitis. Before deciding a PT management of plantar fasciitis, a meticulous assessment should be done to rule out plantar fasciitis. PT management of plantar fasciitis include stretching of plantar fascia and tendo-Achilles. A regular stretching program of tendo-Achilles and plantar fascia is useful to reduce the tightness of plantar fascia as well as to improve the mobility of plantar fascia. Ultrasound with phonophoresis. Whenever the ultrasound is applied with topical medication, it is known as a phonophoresis. So, application of ultrasound with topical medication is useful to reduce the pain as well as to improve the blood circulation. Posterior night splint and foot orthosis. Posterior night splint is advisable to maintain the ankle into dorsiflexion and toe into extension during night. This will provide a constant stretch to the plantar fascia, so it will help to reduce the tightness of the plantar fascia. Mobilization and manipulation. Mobilization and manipulation have been shown to reduce the pain as well as to relieve the symptoms. Mobilization of posterior talocrural joint and traction manipulation of subtalar joint is useful to reduce the pain and to relieve the symptoms. Strength training. Strength training include toe collapse, frozen rolling and toe extension. This will help to increase the strength of the muscle of the sole of the foot. Massage. A regular massage of the plantar fascia is useful to reduce the tightness and to improve the blood circulation. Use of soft heel pad inside the shoes is useful to treat the plantar fasciitis. Hot and cold water fomentation is also useful to reduce the pain as well as to relieve the symptoms of plantar fasciitis.